A move to postpone presidential polls. Tissa Buddika shamed trying to do Sajith's bidding. SJB wary of pro-Compass opinion polls. New alliance to shake the earth. Ranil's plants about AKs India trip.
The leader, දේශයට මග කියන ප්‍රවෘත්ති පෙළගැස්ම.
A move to postpone presidential polls. With several candidates already on the campaign trail, the Election Commission should hold the presidential polls before October 17th as scheduled. But the opposition suspects President Wickremesinghe is plotting to postpone the election. Chief Opposition Whip Lakshman Kiriella noted that the President's throne speech last Thursday was without any reference to the election and alleged an attempt at postponement by using a certain cat's paw civil society organisation. Newspapers on the following day were full of it, carrying headlines about his claim made in Parliament. His allegation of a cat's paw was directed at former Speaker Karu Jayasuriya, whose National Movement for Social Justice has renewed its call to abolish the executive presidency. This has been the movement's key demand since its inception by Venerable Maduluwawe Sobitha Thera a long time ago. However, the opposition suspects ulterior motives behind the sudden emergence of the call to abolish the executive presidency with a presidential election due soon.
ගරු ජනාධිපතිතුමාගේ කතාවේ ගරු නිවිච්ච කතා ජානක තුමනි ජනාධිපතිවරණය ගැන වචනයක්වත් තියෙනවද? ප්‍රජාතන්ත්‍රවාදය ගැන වචනයක් තියෙනවද? වචනයක්වත් නැහැ. මේ හදන්නේ සිවිල් සමාජයේ බලලත් අල්ලගෙන ජනාධිපතිවරණ කල් දාන්න උත්සාහයක් තියෙනවා. මම ඔබතුමාට කියන්න ඕන අවංකව. මම පාර්ලිමේන්තුවටත් කියන්න ඕන. මේක සැලැස්ම තමයි සිවිල් සමාජයේ බලලත් අල්ලගෙන කොහොම හරි විධායක ජනාධිපති ක්‍රමය අවශ්‍ය කරන්න යෝජනාවක් ගෙන්න ප්ලෑන් කරනවා. එතකොට ඊට පස්සේ කියනවා මේ විධායක ජනාධිපති ක්‍රමය අවශ්‍ය කරන්න අලුත් ව්‍යවස්ථාවක් හදන්න ඕන. ඒකට අවුරුද්දක් අපිට ඕන. එම නිසා මේ ජනාධිපතිවරණය අවුරුද්දකින් කල් දාන්න කියලා උත්සාහයක් තියෙනවා. ඒක තමයි සමාජයේ කතාව වෙනවා. මොකද මම ඔබතුමාට කියන්න බලන්න ගිය සතියේ මැතිවරණ කොමසාරිස්ව සම්මුඛ සාකච්ඡාවක් තිබ්බා. එතුමාගෙන් ඇහුවා එක්තරා තරුණයෙක් ඒ ඉන්ටර්වියුවකට තරුණයා දැන් පළාත් පාලන මැතිවරණය තියන්න ගියාම සල්ලි නැහැ කිව්වා. මොකද්ද කොමිෂම කෙරුවේ? කිසිම දෙයක් නැහැ. ජනාධිපතිවරණය තියන්න යනකොට සල්ලි නැහැ කිව්වොත් මොකද්ද ඉලෙක්ෂන් කමිෂන් එක කරන්න කියලා. එතුමාට උත්තර නැහැ. ගොතකගා හිටියේ. බලන්න ඉන්ටර්වියු එක. ඔබතුමා. ඉතින් අපි කියන්නේ පළාත් පාලන මැතිවරණය කල් දැම්මා. ජනතාවට මුහුණ දෙන්න බයයි. ඉදිරි මැතිවරණ ගැන අපි ඒකාබද්ධ විපක්ෂයේ සංවිධානය වෙලා මොන ප්‍රශ්නාවක් අපි මේ මැතිවරණ ලබා ගන්න කටයුතු කරනවා කියන එක මේ අවස්ථාවේ මතක් කරන්න ඕන.
At the same time, opposition leader Sajith Premadasa vows to prevent plans by the president to postpone the election. Premadasa said he would not tolerate the president's attempts to deny the people their voting rights in the guise of abolishing the executive presidency. He was speaking after donating smart classroom equipment to St. Anne's College in Colombo recently. Doulas too has entered the fray, warning of street protests and bloodbath if the government looks for ways of putting off elections.
වර්තමාන ජනාධිපතිවරයා උත්සාහ කරනවා ජනාධිපතිවරණය පැවැත්වීම අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. අපි මේ ක්‍රමය වෙනස් කරන්නට යන්නේ. මේ ක්‍රමය වෙනස් කිරීම තුලින් විධායක ජනාධිපති ක්‍රමය අහෝසි කරනවා. මෙන්න මේ වගේ මාර්ග සිතීමක් තුළ ඔහු උත්සාහ දරනවා නම් ඔය එක පාර්ශන් වලට එක වරදාන වරප්‍රසාද ලබා දීලා ඒ අතකොළුවන්ට තමන්ගේ න්‍යාය පත්‍රය ක්‍රියාත්මක කිරීමට ධෛර්ය ශක්තිය ලබා දීලා ඒ තමන්ගේ දේශපාලන පමයින් හරහා උත්සාහ දරනවා නම් ජනාධිපතිවරණයේ පැවැත්වීම නතර කරන්නට අපි ඒකට කිසිසේත්ම ඉඩ දෙන්නේ නැහැ.
He says there is reasonable suspicion that the government, after putting off 2 national elections previously, is trying to do the same with the presidential election. He said it is certain that the entire opposition and democratic people will rise up against it. However, there is not a word from the government side. That too is quite suspicious. Is there really an attempt to put off the election? Will there be a referendum on abolishing the executive presidency? Is Karu fulfilling Ranil's contract? Those are the big questions right now. Tissa Buddika shamed trying to do Sajith's bidding. The president delivered the throne speech after inaugurating the 5th session of the 9th Parliament on Wednesday. Led by Sajith, some SJB MPs walked out in protest. But Fonseca, Rajitha, Patali, Welgama and others remained in the chamber. Sajith saw that and ordered his men to take both Fonseca and Rajitha outside. Buddika Pathirana rushed to Fonseca and appealed with him, but the field marshal said in his stern military tone that he would not. Pathirana noted the SJB MP's group meeting took a policy decision to boycott the president's speech. "I did not attend that meeting, so that is irrelevant to me," Fonseca replied. After that, Pathirana made a hasty retreat. Rajitha too was preparing to listen to Ranil's speech when national organizer Tissa Atanayaka asked him to walk out with them. "I did not attend the group meeting. Other thing is I want to listen to the president's speech," was his reply. SJB wary of pro-Compass opinion polls. The SJB is worried not because AKD is on tour in India, but by the particular remarks made by certain Indian media. That was especially so after the pro-Modi WION TV introduced the JVP by quoting an IHP poll and predicted that AKD will secure more than 50% of the votes. The IHP, involved with health policies and has nothing to do with politics, said it found 39% will vote for the JVP and 27% for SJB as the two main contenders. SJB MP Thushara Indanil said the truth will come out soon with regard to this misleading opinion survey. University academics are looking into this false claim that has misled even India, he said at a media briefing at the opposition leader's office yesterday. Sajith has tasked Professor Pradeep Veerasinghe with looking into the accuracy of the opinion poll as well as the IHP itself. Veerasinghe, now the SJB's Haliela organiser, is such an expert on opinion surveys that he played a special role in this regard when Mangala Samarawera was the media minister. Professor Veerasinghe has already made a revelation. So, most opinion surveys are tools to suit individual needs. An occasional one gives the correct figures. New alliance to shake the earth. Lasantha Alagiawana is to forego his position as the General Secretary of the People's Alliance for the Unity of a New Alliance. Anura Yapa takes his place before the end of the month, after which the alliance launches its campaign. Chandrika Bandaranayake Kumaratunga is to be its leader and will be backed by Nimal Lanza and other independent MPs. There are plans to hold the second public rally of the alliance at Hyde Park on the 24th. Susil Premajayantha is in charge of its organising, with Sugeswara Bandara also playing a key role. Several new faces, two of them from the east with considerable public popularity, are to be on stage at that rally. Ranil's plants about AKD's India trip. Finally, it is President's E-column by Ashoka Jayatunga in Washington, D.C. The headlines this week are Ranil and his men tongue-tied for 40 minutes, Thai PM's joy and Dinith, truth behind Indian tour of the Compass, Fonseca Ranil meeting, Sagala's outing in the dead of night, is the SJB shattered, revelations about AKD's Indian trip, what Indians inquired from Harin and Mahesh. The column begins with the Independence Day celebrations and says the Thai Premier was in attendance as promised, despite being indisposed. Harin organised the Dambulla event for the Urumaya freehold title awarding ceremony. The President, along with Sagala, Tiran, Wajira and Samanakaniake, took a helicopter there, and the 40-minute ride kept them silent as they all had to wear soundproof headphones. Ashoka, who plants news on behalf of Ranil, then turns to AKD's India tour. They went to Dinuk Kolombagay's farm for tea, where Sagala showed a photo to Ranil. Anura's photo with Kashanuka in New Delhi will go viral just the same way Namal's dancing act with her went viral before, Sagala observed. When Tiran asked what could be the ulterior motive behind the JVP tour, Ranil said, "India does things like that whenever an election nears. The SJB is hurt and frightened by that," he also said. The Prime Minister and SJB MP Gayantha Karunathilake were already at the title awards ceremony. Harin described how Gayantha laid the groundwork as the then Lands Minister for this title awards. Recipients became emotional and some even tried to worship the President. They spent the night in Anuradhapura. Sagala paid homage at Sri Mahabodhi and Ruwanweli Stupa late in the night. Ranil gave a tea party at his expense after he delivered the throne speech. The Prime Minister said the SJB was apparently a divided lot at present. The cunning fox said there would be better things later on. Ranil returned to his office in Parliament to meet ministers. but Fonseca got the priority. He told Fonseca that India's giving a chance to the JVP over the opposition leader shows an issue of trust. After he left, many inquired what Fonseca told him, but Ranil remained tight-lipped. There is talk that they discussed Fonseca's money got stuck in a bank and the election plan. Ashu, who strikes deals with the SJB MPs, said some did not accept Sajith's decisions. Nelson went to Uganda, others will go to Australia. Gayanta came for the title awarding. What else will happen in the next 3 to 4 months? He asked. Ranil noted that the SJB refuses to work with him over the tear gas attack on them. The SLPP underwent the same, but now works for the country. Why cannot the SJB, who was with me during the good governance period, and the JVP that fulfilled anti-corruption responsibilities then do likewise? He asked. We have been saying all the while that this presidential election will be quite different. This is just the beginning. Much more is bound to happen. That's it for today.